I'm TarotOracle, and this is another spread, the Reuniting Old Love spread. A lot of you guys have asked about reuniting an old love. You have something wonderful, something beautiful that happened long ago, and you just want it back. So we're going to do a 7-card spread that covers basically everything you need to know to understand if the old love is going to be possible. Is this going to be feasible? How's it going to work? Because a lot of people do come in the stream and they want to know if they're going to reunite or if they're going to have some communication with somebody that they liked a long time ago. Because, a lot of times we can recover relationships, and I think that's what we could do here. Anyway, the first item that we have on the list here is the positives. Man, this position is going to be what was good about the relationship. And obviously, at the beginning of any relationship, everything is so good, right? Everything is so wonderful. It's such a dramatic change. And, we're in the honeymoon period, and all we see is the rose-colored glasses, and everything is beautiful, wonderful. But reality is, at the end of the relationship, all you see are red flags. And that's why you have to break it up. That's why it had to conclude the way that it concluded, was because all we saw was red flags and it turned into all negatives. Reality is, though, that you have the positives and the negatives. You're not going to get in a situation where it's all wonderful or in a situation where it's all terrible. You have a 50-50 mix of this stuff here. And this position is going to be what was good about the relationship. 4 of Wands, we had a good home building exercise. We were good together. We made a nice home. Maybe we had kids, or something like that. So we had a home that we're building together. Now, 4 of Wands as opposed to the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is going to be an old family, an older, stable kind of thing. 4 of Wands is going to be, we're kind of building it, right? This is part of a building exercise, like you're building a YouTube channel, you're building your social media profile. This is a building exercise. So positives in the 4 of Wands would be building a relationship here. Now, you could have the Lovers, to where you're literally soulmates, right, in this position. You could have a 3 of Swords. We both broke up with somebody. Now we had a recovery relationship. So you got to look at what are the positives with what we had, because that is going to be the key point here. Second position is going to be what were the negatives. And again, at the end of the relationship, it's a lot of negatives. And that's where you have to write down what's good about it, what's bad about it. And you got a 50-50 mix in here, right? So the negatives is what we're focused on at the end. At the end. And after we break up, after everything is said and done, we start looking at this from a more balanced perspective, from a justice, right? From a more balanced perspective. What was positive, what was negative? And that's what we must do here. What was positive, what was negative? Now, the negatives here are just death card. It was too many changes. You changed my life. I had to sacrifice this, had to sacrifice that. There was too many changes, too many alterations. Maybe the negatives here is this person was narcissistic, or maybe this person was a negative influence on our life, or maybe their family members hated me, or maybe they wanted me to uproot my career, my life in order to blend into theirs, and it turns out their career, or maybe their friends didn't like it. So basically, what was negative about this, right? Maybe you have an upside down 3 of Cups. Their friends didn't like me. Maybe you had an upside down 6 of Cups. Their family didn't like me, right? So you got to kind of figure out what's going on here. What are the positives? What are the negatives of this relationship? And you got to make a list, right? One on the left hand of a notebook is going to be the positive. The right hand is going to be the negatives, what have you. Now, what was the root cause of the whole thing going south? And I say root cause because it's so easy to get caught up in just what you see in front of you. In other words, we see fighting, right? Well, what was the fighting about? Well, the fighting was about the family didn't like me. The fighting was about I introduced too much stress into their life or whatever, right? So the 9 of Swords, let's take an example here. 9 of Swords. I introduced too much stress into their life. In other words, too much negativity, too much stress. They had stress at work, they got stressed with family, and now they have a stressful relationship. They can't handle it. There's a breaking point. So we added too much stress into their life for this Nine of Swords to appear, right? Because you have a clown face in here. The clown face usually sort of points to, yeah, there's more stress. There's somebody that's leaning us into that direction. Maybe the root cause. In other words, don't look at the fighting. Don't look at the disagreements. Don't look at the sort of the just the negatives. You want to look for what caused all of these problems. Maybe somebody needed a power. Maybe it was a power struggle from the beginning. Maybe somebody just didn't like the entire relationship. Maybe somebody wanted to cheat and they needed a little more sewing of their, roots and taking off their pants for other people. But what was the root cause of this entire thing happening? Maybe you do have a Seven of Swords for cheating. Maybe you do have a drug addiction or some sort of addiction. Maybe a Seven of Cups for sort of addictions or what have you. You got to kind of look at it. Maybe the Devil for just narcissism. What was the root cause for this entire thing going south? Now, common ground. What did we have together that made us better? And I think that's a key point here. What was it together that made us better? Common ground, the Three of Cups. We just had good friends together, right? You go out with your friends, and I would go too. And we'd have such just great friends. We'd get big parties, get big celebrations in the Three of Cups. We just had that common ground together. Our friends were a common ground. Maybe our family got along great. Our family was a common ground. Maybe we just had the same hobbies, the same interests. We're going to go to a Coldplay concert because we both love Coldplay. We love the same music. We love the same types of things. So what is the common ground here? What can we look at that's going to blend us together? Because over here we have positives, negatives, root cause. What blends? And over here we have other things. So what blends these two together? That is sort of where we're looking. That is what we are looking for. Okay, over here, the forces that help us be together, right? That helps us be together. In other words, a lot of times there are forces... A lot of times, technical problems. A lot of times there are forces that help us be together, right? The forces being a lot of commonality, a lot of good friendships. The forces being you really care about me. You're the only one that genuinely cared about me. A lot of times that's the case. What forces that help us? In this case, we have the Seven of Cups. We had dreams together. We were going to open a tarot card store. Okay, we're gonna do magic together. We're gonna do, maybe we went out and did stuff together. We rode motorcycles together. We went and did 4K runs together. I mean, the forces that helped us. What external forces? What other forces around us helped us out? Maybe the family really wanted us to be together. Maybe that was a thing. But there were some forces that helped us out. What were they? In this case, the Seven of Cups. We had dreams. We had ambitions together. We're going to open our own place. We're going to do our own company. Those forces helped us stay together. The next card is going to be sometime today. The next card is going to be behaviors to replace. Now, you got to kind of understand with behaviors to replace. What are we replacing? Here's the thing. People don't change. People don't change. If you're narcissistic, chances are tomorrow you're going to be narcissistic too. If you like 4K runs, chances are you're going to like 4K runs tomorrow. If you like football, chances are you're going to like football tomorrow. Bottom line, people don't change. But behaviors can change, right? So I think it's very difficult to come into a relationship and say, I need you to change. I need you to change. I think that's unfair. Instead, let's say, what behaviors can we replace that were hindering us in the first place? Okay? Because right here, you look at this 10 of Wands. You remember I talked about you had stress at work, you got stress with family. I'm stressing you out, okay? I expect you to go on a date night. I expect you to do this. I expect you to do that. Some of that is a little bit stressful, right? I'm introducing stress. Maybe I'm a little negative sometimes. And you need somebody that's going to be positive, somebody that's going to bring in the good things, somebody's going to bring in some help to your life. So what behaviors can we replace? Number one, the 10 of Wands. I'm overloading you with stuff, and that's not helping, okay? I'm overloading you with stuff with this 10 of Wands. Maybe it's the cheating. Maybe it's flirting with other people. Maybe it's, whatever, being narcissistic, being negative all the time. Maybe it's talking bad about me behind my back to your family and causing a drift. The behaviors to replace is going to be important because it means I don't want you to change who you are, but I do want you to replace a couple of behaviors with something else. Could it be the negativity that you're bringing into my life? You're always talking about maybe politics, religion, you're preaching to me. Can we replace that behavior with something more positive, something that helps the relationship? What behaviors can we replace together? And I say together because, again, it's not fair for you to blame that person for 100% of the issue. You need to look at yourself too. What behaviors can I replace? What were they asking me for that I never did? What can I help do, right? What behaviors can we replace? Behaviors to replace. The 10 of Wands. Let's not introduce negativity into an already stressful situation. Let's bring in some positivity. Let's bring in some help. Maybe I can help you with the dogs. Maybe I can clean house occasionally for you, help you out because I have some spare time and you don't. What behaviors can I replace with that? And the last thing that we're going to do on this is going to be ultimate outcome. What's the ultimate outcome? All right. We know the positives. We know the negatives. We made a list on the left side of the notebook, on the right side of the notebook. Well, we found out the root cause was not the yelling and the arguments, but the fact that I introduced too much stress, right? Common ground is we just really enjoy things together. We have a party together. We're soulmates. We feel that. We have that common ground. Maybe the moon is the common ground, the feeling, the emotion. Maybe the Queen of Cups with you really make me emotional. You bring out my emotions. You make me feel alive, right? Common ground. Things that help us in this case where we had ambitions together. We're going to open our own tarot shop. We're going to open our own restaurant. We're going to do things together. We always go to the same concerts. We have stuff that's together, and that really helps us. Things to replace, I need to not bring in negativity to this relationship. I need to bring in positivity. You need to spend some more time. Get some date night. I know you're busy. Make a date night. That's all I want. A little date night, a little time. We can replace some behaviors and make things work out. Ultimate outcome, happy home, happy family. 10 of Cups is the beautiful ultimate outcome for this spread. Now, obviously, if you have the devil here or you have the three of swords, that's you. That's you. But that is the ultimate outcome on the bottom right. And that is the end of this particular spread. And did you know I have a Patreon? That's right. You get a lot of stuff for it, not a lot of money. Okay, for $5, you get 20 hours of Create Your Tarot course. I teach you detailed how to draw animals, detailed how to draw digitally. I walk you through the application. I walk you through how to make it. I walk you through oil painting examples. I got pastel examples. I got colored pencil. I got everything, how to draw your own tarot cards, because it's a good income source. I'll be honest with you, that's a really good income source. And if you can draw realistic animals, you can draw your neighbor's dog, what have you, they'll pay you 60, 70, $100 for that. Behind the readings every week, if you're wondering why I said what I said, I tell you, 10% why I said what I said in my streams. I tell you exactly why, what we're looking at. I go through details. 10% off everything in my store. Hey, that's worth the $5 alone. I mean, if you're going to buy something, right? You get your name in my tarot decks, books. You get the name in the video credits. You also get a free Lenormand digital deck and a cloth. So you can go print it out. And that is on screen now for you to look at. As well as, if you want to dump $10 in, you get everything over here, plus a weekly live stream. You get an hour with me once a week in a live stream. You want to ask me a question? Hey, why did you say that? I want to help on this. I want to help on this. I'm here for you. Live stream every week. Ask me anything you want. They're all archived off too, so you can watch previous ones. I teach you details, deep details about tarot cards, how to read, what to do, etc. If you want me to do anything, I'll do what. If you want to see a magic trick, whatever you want to see, I mean, I'm live streaming. I mean, between me and you. So ask me anything. This is private to Patreon. You also get all my digital books and audio books for $10. You get all the digital books and audio books. That's a steal. That is an easy way to go there. Now, if you want to go $20 a month, you get a monthly 20-minute private reading with me. That's $1 a minute. That's extremely, extremely reasonable. All of this is available to you right now. Go to my Patreon, link in the description, and become a supporter. It helps me make more videos. It helps me just make content that you want to see. It helps me a lot. So please, if you want to support me, I will reimburse you with a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not like you're just throwing money at me and hoping for the best. You're getting things back. So I greatly appreciate your support. And thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time.